everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. Please keep in mind that discipline is the key to your success in trading. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for this week and earnings before we start looking at the charts. As you can see, we have several Fed speakers in red, and then we have PPI final on Wednesday, retail sales. We also have a crude report at 4:30 Friday afternoon. We have jobless claims on Thursday, and Friday we have existing home sales. As you can see, plenty of Fed speakers out running, talking, and they are opportunities. Don't fear them; use them as opportunities. As for earnings, coming in earnings next week will be really starting to turn on with earnings. Have a little bit this week. You can see Morgan Stanley. We have Netflix on Thursday, Goldman Sachs on Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs tomorrow morning. We got United tomorrow afternoon. We got Alcoa, Schwab. We have Procter Gamble. There's Schlumberger. Got plenty of regional banks like Alley, MT, Thirst. Here's PNC. Got Discover. So we're going to start to see what some of the credit looks like. All right, so that's what we have. Look, got more banks. So that's what we have for our earnings and our economy data. Let's go to the charts and see what we can find. See if we see any good setups. So we had bank earnings in Taiwan Semi last week. We're going to take a look at those charts and we're going to see how the market acted with these stocks turned in earnings that were not so great. So when we get to the charts, we're going to talk about that. Our put to call ratio is down to 93, neutral zone. It's a good sign. We haven't spent much time here all year. Well, I guess it's a brand new year once again. Last year, you can see the oscillators here for the NASDAQ. We are extremely oversold. Looking back 21 years, we have not been here. Very hot. The New York Stock Exchange actually is hot as well, but it's actually been hotter. Right here at 299, still hot. We did cool off a little bit from Friday or from Thursday, but still hot. You can see the SPX, the S&P 500, putting in this higher low here, pushing up. We're not calling the downtrend yet because we can adjust this. I'm looking to take this 50 weekly out. That's where what I'm looking for on a weekly chart. The breath, we put out a video earlier today. Suggest watching that, talking about the breath thrust and how strong the breath is. You can see the dollar, big down candle. Last week we mentioned we were expecting 52-week lows to come in, and we have pulled back. We have received that. I do apologize, not 52-week lows, but putting in a new recent low is is how I should have worded that. You can see the VIX here pulling back as well below 19. We said last week we wanted it in the 19 range. We got that and have moved lower. Crude, nice push up. We have actually closed above the 50. Can we put in a new high here? Can we push up to put in a new high so we can pull back and put in a higher low and continue this downtrend? That's a big question right now. Very close to possible double top here. See how it acts. Right now, crude looks good. We do have a crude report coming in this week, as we just mentioned. Apple's definitely not been as strong as a lot of these other names. Tech has not been as strong. You can see the money is slowing down. Looks like it's starting to come back into Apple, back above the 9 and 20 here. Looking pretty decent. Can we continue higher is the question. If we do, look for a move up to this 50-day at 139. That's a possibility. Not saying we're going to cover all that in one day. Apple could if it feels like it, but see if we can make it back up to the 50-day and how we act when we get to the 50-day. You can see Apple intraday. Really nice push on Friday as well. Gold, we said buy gold. We said if you were interested in gold, to buy gold. Preferably, my favorite, which we're going to look at, is GDX. So this is our advanced decline lines. You can see we have turned up a lot of power here, a lot of strength. We come down, kept testing this 9, kept testing the 9, but we kept holding the 9, kept talking about how we were holding the 9. Even though we turned down, we still held the 9. Big move up, a lot of strength in this move. Abby posted this double top, posted it everywhere. Got a textbook move right to the penny. We were able to measure the move, got the move right to the penny. Now it's giving us a slight reversal signal. See if we can get a move back up off Avi. I'm looking for just a move back up into the 50. Hopefully we can get the 9 and 20 down. Just a push back up into the 50 is all I'm looking for. Look to take profits if we get this move. Be ready to take profits when you get to the top of this candle. It could push through it. Just be ready to take your profits just in case something goes wrong. AMD, another one that's not quite as strong as some of these other names. We are outside of the Bollinger Bands. I would like to see some pullback and, just a pullback, backfill a little bit, get a little closer to the 9. Coming into options expiration week this week. So normally Monday we expect chop. This time we lost Monday. Will we still see chop? Possible Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully the market will turn it and kind of do without the chop, maybe have some decent trends later in the week. The reason why we chop is because the options, you got the market makers trying to take some of the value out of the options before they close Friday. Just for chopping, it kicks in decay full effect, and that's all the market makers are trying to do is just drain some of the value out of them. AMD weekly, you can see right here a higher low trying to push up. Affirm, nice push last week as well. Got us back above the 50-day. Outside of the Bollinger Bands here, our moving averages are turning up. But another one I would like to see an inside day on, let it hang out, maybe hold the 50 as the 9 and 20 is trying to catch up. MACD's definitely changing character there. Is cross bullish. You can see a firm intraday, another nice push. Nice push here, flagged right over. Come into your 9 and your 20 right there. Hanging out on the 9 with the 9 right there, struggling to hold it. But after it hit that 20, it was able to push up, closed on the high of the day. A good sign when you're closing on the high of the day. Amazon, another nice push, pulled right back in. Perfect flag on the 15-minute 9, perfect, and then continue to push. Textbook. You got Amazon, the weekly, big candle there last week. That candle also closed strong. That's a good sign. Expecting to possibly see some follow through of some of these candles. We talk about in the Discord all the time what to expect on these follow through candles. It's no different with a weekly candle. AMC, nice push up. Got some indecision here. Looks like it wanted to pull back. Was able to pretty much hold in for the day. It looks like it gapped down and was able to recover most of the candle. Needs the 9 to catch up. You can see AMC's intraday chart. Decent push, chopped over. Tried to push up. Didn't close on the high of the day, though. The Mimi stocks had a nice run. AMD, not a really big day for it on Friday. A lot of chop in there. There was definitely stronger stocks to trade. Amazon, this is Amazon's daily chart. You can see a decent candle. We had a nice push up Thursday. We pulled back a little bit, but look where we closed. We held that previous candle. We talk about these candle lines and these candles and these candle patterns and how and what to expect on your next candle all the time. In this case, we were able to close and hold. Looks like we gapped down a little bit. We know the market gapped down on Friday. Strong day at open. We talked about what we've seen. We've put out a couple of videos this weekend, or put out one Saturday, putting out one today, talking about breath thrust, just talking about what we've been seeing in the market. And, just understanding what's happening in the market can help you make money in the market. Just understanding what's happening on your chart allows you to trade what you're seeing on your chart and know how to trade what you're seeing on this chart. I just don't focus on one strategy. I focus on helping traders understand what's happening so they know how to take advantage of it. Apple weekly, we had this descending triangle, nice break to the downside, put this hammer in the previous week. Last week, got the reversal off the hammer, nice push up. We did close back above this weekly resistance as well. So that's a good sign. Even ARK is a nice push. I'm not a big ARK fan, but I like using this chart as a indicator for some of the more beaten down names that Kathy holds, and it's a great indicator for that. So we know some of those stocks have been pushing as well. We did close above a previous resistance level. Boeing, nice push. Boeing's just been on fire. It keeps closing higher. can definitely still have more in the tank. If this thing comes down to the 9, I would not be scared to take an entry on it. If it pulls back to the daily 9, I would not be scared to buy the 9 on this one. Baba again, nice push outside of the Bollinger Bands. Just kind of drifted over. No big moves, but we didn't pull back. Friday was able to push up. I would like to see it get closer to that 9. You got this inverted head and shoulders down here with a perfect breakout. Come back, retested the neckline. Textbook move. Nice push up there. Do have some gaps on that one we got to keep an eye on. All right, so Bank of America reported earnings. Earnings, they weren't great at all. You can see this big gap down. We gapped down in the market, snatched back, uh, but the market bought it back. You know, earnings were not great. The market came for it and bought it back. That's a good sign. Market's full of FOMO. Let's keep an eye on the banks. Two more reporting tomorrow. Bitcoin weekly, nice move last week, starting a new candle. Would like to see this calm down a little bit. It's a lot, this is another good sign of the FOMO and the strength that's coming into the markets, money coming into the markets. A lot of people are starting to expect the birth of a new trend. So we have this really nice push up, a lot of FOMO. Uh, Another strong day today. We still have this major level here to take out. It's been on the charts. We need to take that level out and push above it. We cleared the last level like it was nothing. You can see Boeing here has been trading kind of flat for a few days, but Boeing's been a super strong stock. ChargePoint, another nice push. We talked about this in the Discord, posted some charts. Another nice push last week. So you can see we pulled back, tested that daily 50 and ripped on it. So a very nice move. Very, very strong chart there. I would like to see some pullback just to do some backfilling. Chewy, you had some indecision here. You can see when we did pull back, we managed to close to hold that candle line. Once again, this one we gapped down on. We were able to recover some of it. Not the best performing stock on Friday. As you can see here, it traded really flat the last few days. There's definitely been other stocks that have been performing better in the market than to try to trade Chewy right now. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Once again, City, I believe, in my opinion, from what I read, and I didn't dig too deep into the reports, I just have not had the time, to be honest. But City looked the best to me just skimming over it. So I do believe from the reports that we've seen that City was the best report. Once again, you can see, it gapped down, pulled back. They come for it. The market bought it back. XLP, consumer staples, still struggling here. We did get down here below the 50. We were able to recover it and close back above that daily 50, but consumer staples are struggling right now. Charts holding in well. It's just, a lot of these other stocks are money's going to other places right now. So we're seeing rotations out of names like that, out of a lot of the safety names, the healthcare names, and we are continuing to pull back. CVX, you got this symmetrical triangle here looking for a breakout there. CVX intraday, nice recovery on Friday, but getting back up to basically the previous day's levels. We found resistance there, was not able to push through it. DraftKings, another one, really nice move. The 9 and 20, 9's turned up, 20's trying to turn up here, closed above the 50, 200 in the way. I'd really like to see an inside day or two, let this 9 catch up. And it's very possible, once again, OPEC week, options expiration week, we can definitely see some chop. All right, so we have EA. We had a double top here. Is put in this nice rounded bottom. I like it above this 50. If it closes above this 50, I like it. Just better charts to trade right now, I believe. It's got a decent MACD on it. Lily, nice push here. It's got to get above your daily moving averages here. Still would keep my eye on this head and shoulders pattern. A lot of times they'll rip back up and then continue to pull back. I would not be the first one to want to short that name. It's been a strong stock. XLE, energy sector, nice push up. Not a big move on Friday. You can see we were able to recover the majority of it where it did pull back. ExxonMobil intraday, you can see the pullback here at open, recovered, put in a higher low here and was not really able to put in the higher high. For solar, another one strong, 50, new 52-week high there, very strong. Google. Google's been a lot weaker than these other names. Right here at the 50-day, I still think there's better stocks to trade. Halliburton, we've been watching this one. Nice breakout of our broadening channel there. Nice push, very nice push. QQQ got a nice little rounded bottom here. Not as strong as the S&P 500, but definitely perking up. We know tech's weaker. We've been watching the Nasdaq. We know keep an eye on what's going on in the market. So we know tech's weaker, but it is definitely perking up back above the 50-day. Can we push right on the Bollinger Bands? We could really use the pullback and do some backfilling. Come back to that 9 would be great. You can see the cues here. We had this nice cup and handle pattern on Friday. Nice breakout, nice push there. All this stuff's pointed out in the Discord as we are trading. So you're able to get this information as we're trading, live market commentary, calling out a bunch of different setups, talking about price action every day. You can see the cues here we pull back. This is the weekly chart. We pull back to this previous support level. Uh, you can definitely see some indecision, which was kind of signaling a reversal. Nice push up last week. Definitely a nice recovery on the Qs. TLT, we had a inside day on Friday. Hopefully we can continue higher, which is great. Give it a chance for this 9 to catch up. Rates are still pulling in. IWM, we did close above this weekly downtrend, above the weekly 50-day as well. Great sign for small caps. Nothing unusual for small caps to be strong in January. So you can see right here, we still have another downtrend coming in that we got to take out. We got this downtrend here we've taken out, but this downtrend still needs to be taken out as we're pushing up into it. We also have a previous level of resistance here. We need to take that out yet. So let's not get overly excited. I would like to see, once again, options expiration week, chop, chop, see some pullback, some backfill would be great. IWM, you can see the cup there, not as nice of a handle, but still got a breakout out of it on the 15. JP Morgan, you can see the big pullback in pre-market, and the market bought it back, ripped it higher. So good sign there. Good sign that the market's buying this stuff back. LVS, this is actually, we talked about this a couple times. Thursday, we said that keep an eye on casinos in the Discord, because casinos were showing some strength. We're getting some news. It's a lot of stuff was happening in this sector. Boom, nice push up. This is also in a recent report that we've done in the market. I hope you're keeping an eye on our 2023 yearly outlook, because some of those trades are setting up. If you're in a Discord, I really hope you're paying attention to those charts, because there's money to be made there. Macy's, big move. We got this textbook move right here, textbook follow through. We talk about this all the time. Strong candle. This candle, the follow through candle, acted exactly like we wanted it to. Nice play there. Strong candle on Friday. Mara, we talked about this last week, about if we take this 20-day out, to expect price acceleration. Boom, huge move, clean above the 50. A lot of these small names like this are moving now. There's big money to be made there. In my opinion, this needs to pull back and do some backfilling. Anything that we trade now, if the market continues to push, that's fine. We're day trade only, though, until we can pull back and look for some better setups. Merck into the 9. It did close up just barely above that 9. A Meta, nice break of this downtrend. We were watching this in the Discord. Really nice push there. Meta, once again, you can see the intraday. Nice push there. MU pulled back. Reversal signal. You would normally expect to see a move down off of that candle. We didn't really get that. It did pull back, but it was able to push back up. You're trying to put a flag in there on the 9. Nice looking chart. Just one to keep an eye on there. Microsoft definitely not trading as strong as a lot of these other names. Once again, I think there's better names to trade in the market right now. You can see we are at the 50-day. If we can get above that 50-day, it's worth keeping an eye on. Microsoft intraday, you can see the big move here right at the end of the day on Friday. You can see the difference between this chart and a lot of these other charts. But when it did go, it did go. It had a nice push after it finally recovered. Nice inside week last week in Microsoft, inside bar. MU intraday, pretty choppy there. You can see the move down. You can see this is Thursday. We moved down Friday, gap down on Friday, was able to recover some of it. Not the best move there on Friday, that's for sure. NASDAQ, uh, definitely perking up here. Let's look at, oh, I thought I had the NASDAQ weekly in here, but we definitely are perking up here. We talked about the NASDAQ weekly in the last video, today's video. Netflix, we coming into earnings this week. Look like they may have been front running earnings a little bit. Kept trying to push. Let's keep an eye on that. I would, once again, like to see a move back down to the 9. I'd like to get all these stocks closer to the 9. We can look for some better entries, some stuff maybe you can sit in. A Nvidia, nice push up here as well, closed above the 200-day. So Nvidia is back above all its major moving averages on the daily. Good sign. 9's turned up. Nvidia intraday 15-minute chart, nice push. We did break below the 9 on this one, but was able to have a decent push. Closed on the highs at the end of the day. That's a sign of strength. Nvidia here pushing up into resistance on the weekly. Strong bar last week. This is the New York Stock Exchange weekly chart. You can see here it has took the downtrend out here as well. That's a great sign. The New York Stock Exchange houses a few thousand stocks versus like the S&P 500 houses 500. So seeing this many stocks participating is big. It's huge. MACD bullish, very nice looking MACD there. Palantir, Palantir pushed up. We are having some issues right here at previous resistance. If we can able to take this out and hold it, watch your daily 50 there. Pendleton, another nice strong move, took out resistance. So this closed over previous resistance. Would like to hang out here. Got to watch this 200 coming into it. I would like to see the 9 catching up. Plug, nice push there as well. The Qs, so this is the Qs monthly chart. So you can see we come down, tested the 50, tested the 50, tested the 50. We were able to push up again off the 50, but you can definitely see a big difference in this chart versus some of the other monthly charts. We are still down here. We're not up that much off the lows, so let's keep that in mind. We have some work to do. We got Roblex, got this gap up here, holding this gap well, waiting on this 9 to catch up. See if we can push higher there. The S&P 500 daily chart back above the daily 200. Looks like we barely closed above previous resistance there, which is a fib level. SLB, we have earnings this week on Slumberjay. Another very nice push. Been watching that one. Another nice breakout. Dow Jones, we talked about the diamond. We talked about that in the last video. You can see here a nice lower bottom. It's a nice chart explaining what's going on there in today's previous video. MACD's crossed. The Dow cannot carry the whole market by itself, though. Let's keep that in mind. Give credit where credit's due. It takes a combined. We need a New York Stock Exchange. We need a Nasdaq. We need the S&P 500. We need the Russells. We need small caps. We need good market participation, which is exactly what we're seeing now. But can it continue? That's the question. So S&P or the SPY weekly, once again, a higher low, nice push up right into weekly levels, trend lines. We have to take these levels out. That's your weekly 50 right there. We need to get above that. Once again, just to show this chart again, this is this downtrend. If we touch it this time, this would be the 5th time we touched it. You can see the big difference here, though. Every other time we've gotten to it, it's been after a big run. This time we were able to pull back and hold this area. Surprisingly, we chopped for just about 3 weeks in that area. We knew, we spend that much time in an area. We knew breaking out of that area was put in a nice base. We knew we were going to see price acceleration. We went to the upside. Back above your daily 200 here. So this will be your 5th time. one thing you can see the difference between here and here. Look at the space between the touches. They're getting closer. This time, if we do touch, it's going to be even closer. Can we take that out? That's a big deal. If we take that out, it's going to be the birth of a new trend. SPY daily, we pretty much just covered that. SPY 15, you can see this nice push up. Kind of got this little cup and handle here. Nice push. You can see that better on a 5-minute time frame for that cup and handle. This is our trend chart right now. Short term, medium term, long term is all into a bullish trend. Square is pushing, kind of holding in here. There's a nice candle flag down. I'll come down. They pulled this candle all the way back to the 9. The bulls were able to recover most of that candle. The next day still was not able to take that out. 9 needs to catch up and see if it can push us higher. Starbucks, we talked about this name Thursday. Told the Discord how good this chart looked. Boom, big move right off the 9. You can see we pulled back a little bit in pre-market and ripped. Very nice move there. Taiwan Semi, once again, they even guided down. So their earnings were not the greatest in the world by any means. The market bought them back. Still traded on an inside day. Still outside the Bollinger Bands. We need to get back into Bollinger Bands. We need to get this 9 to catch up. If we do pull back, we have some gaps to fill there. Worth keeping an eye on. But these earnings have not been great, and the market's coming for them, buying them back. You can see tech here, once again, rounded bottom. In this case, this rounded bottom is nothing but a higher low. Can we push? We need to take it. If we do push right on the Bollinger Bands, which tells me we could easily pull back. It can blow through it, of course, but we could easily pull back or hang out, let this 9 catch up. I'd like to hold this 50, let this 9 catch up. Your 200-day would be your next target there. If we push, Tesla is just having a lot of issues. Coming into a fresh earnings season, the lowering the price of all these cars and inventory issues, this should reflect on their earnings. So we could definitely see some more downside coming on Tesla. See what these earnings look like. They're coming up. Still holding this 9, a decent day on Friday. You can see here, it was not the easiest to trade. It ripped up, pulled back, chopped around. When it cleared this level, another nice push, closed on the high. That's also a good sign. When a stock closes on the high, closes with a strong daily candle, that's a very good sign. You can see Uber here with a strong candle. Another one I'd like to see it come back. It's not overly extended, but $2. We need to get closer to these daily 9s. I would feel better about it. Visa, great call on this one last week. We talked about the MACD, talked about every time we got to this trend line. We even talked about the weekly chart. Definitely a nice breakout there. This is the weekly chart here. You can see the trend line. Once again, how we put in this lower high. Sorry, we put in this higher high, and you can see how the MACD pinched for it, opened right up. Very nice move. GDX, the gold name that we recommended, put in a little contraction pattern, basically a flag waiting on a 9. Nice push up there. Good MACD on that one. If you bought that, congratulations. Wells Fargo, another bank, nice recovery. Earnings were not great. Down. Market come for it. Bought it back. Took it all the way back up to that daily 50. We got to clear that daily 50 if we're going to continue higher. Strong MACD. XLF, we talked about this cup here. Come right down to the 9, pushed right up off the 9. Could have easily have been some buy the 9 opportunities. ExxonMobil, another nice move going back up. This wants to head back to all-time highs. We need to get above this resistance level. And that concludes our video for today. Please keep in mind that discipline is the key to your success in trading. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you in the trading room.